Итак, всем доброго времени суток, уважаемые зрители, с вами alekszov. Мы продолжаем проходить Genshin, продолжаем проходить третий том, вторую главу, продолжаем решать эту загадку с временной петлей, или вернее с днем сурка, или как это еще обозвать. Надеюсь, мы разберемся с тем, что здесь происходит, и кто в этом виноват.
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Dia also didn't get hurt today.
Get hurt? Why would I? Don't underestimate me.
Well, you're still getting used to your new greatsword.
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar in my hands.
Traveler, could you explain the situation to her today? Paimon's gotten a little sick of doing it. Oh, that works.
What happened to you guys while I was gone? Did you get brainwashed by some cult?
Don't think too hard about it. Just take what we're saying at face value.
Alright then, let me get this straight. You're telling me that my body's already gotten used to this great sword, but my brain just doesn't remember it?
Yes, your memory's being erased every day.
Then I'd have to disagree. That's impossible.
Но к мечу-то ты приноровилась как-то?
Oh? Why do you think that?
If we've actually been reliving the Sabzeruz festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used, the money we spent, the food we ate?
Да, это тоже должно как-то объясняться. Весь этот товар, фрукты у того торговца вообще должны были уже давно пропасть. Если это, я даже не знаю какой, точно за 40-й, то есть за 50-й день. Ну и все остальное.
Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that.
Right. They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that day, and then use the city's resources to replenish everything. It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
No, it is impossible. I've got proof.
Давай.
You have proof? Where?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Come with me, Miss Dunyarzad. Please come along as well.
Paimon can't believe it's Dia who wants to show us something this time. 2 days ago, we were the ones taking her to see Dunyarzad.
Каждый раз бегать туда-сюда, сколько можно.
This is it.
Huh? This is the wooden training?
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of... Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces by now?
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of refined control. The force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy, as well as my state of mind as I made each strike.
А ты каждый день тренируешься? Потому что мы застряли в одном дне, и в этот день ты могла стоять на страже, и, может, у тебя просто не было времени тренироваться.
It's just as they say. Each swordsman has their own unique style, and even the same swordsman can't make the same cut twice. It would be impossible to copy these marks.
Is it really impossible? What if they use some fancy machine to carve every single mark?
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has no spirit to it. The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat training. Whew, I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? It's surprisingly fun. Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory deletion theory also wrong?
Да, в принципе, я не сказал бы, что она не работает.
But at least we've reached some other conclusions in the meantime. Yep, that's true. So, can we think of any new ideas right now? Strange? Paimon feels like everything's been strange lately.
Да, это хороший вопрос. Надо узнать, как далеко распространяется эта вещь.
Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange how we never thought of such a simple solution! Many things should become clear if Paimon can't believe it! Did we miss this because we're tunnel visioning too hard on our other theories? Or because we're just too tired?
Мне интересно другое. Если бы я это задание проходил не разом, а просто оставил бы его сейчас и, не знаю, пошел бы там на следующий день, там, вернулся бы в Инадзуму, выполнил дейлики, там, прошла бы, не знаю, неделя, я бы снова сел бы за Геншин, вернулся бы к зданию, и тут Пайман говорит: а почему мы не ушли из города, хотя меня в городе там уже неделю как не было. Было бы забавно.
How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something. Nahida, we're back!
You're back early today. Did you find something new?
Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop. And we also aren't in the real world. But at the same time, we have a new question.
Leaving the city. As far as I remember...
We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after we talked about those plans?
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say that both times you never came back the whole night. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time, I didn't think too much about it.
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll already be the next day. But still...
Really? That's kinda strange. In theory, I should have already awakened all your memories.
Yep, something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow.
Опять бип. Опять бип.
Our memories are back! About that...
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sабзерuz festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Так, это какое-то подпространство, да?
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay, let's go.
Выпустите меня! Let me in! Или let me out.
Why can't we leave the city? What is the academia up to now?
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a direct order.
I have a real emergency. My goods have already arrived at Port Ormos. If...
That's your problem. Make sure you make a request in advance.
But But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced a lot. Let's go and question them. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave this?
Here we go again. Don't ask me, I don't know either. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. They didn't tell us anything else. Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that kind of insider info,
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get anything out of him, let's take matters into our own hands. Why don't we climb over the walls? This is a good spot, and the guard hasn't noticed us at all. Let's Huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind? But what if... Oh, Paimon knows that Paimon can't do much, but we've always been together. Haven't we? Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon as possible. Just a quick look. And please.
Нормально, не ссы.
Memories! Traveler!
Ебать, оставили Пайман на 5 минут и все.
Paimon would never see you again! Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you...
Paimon, calm down. She's here now. I don't think she understood what you were
Paimon doesn't care! Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! Okay. Paimon will forgive you. The most important thing is that you didn't actually disappear.
Okay. Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really happened yesterday? I see. Using two people...
After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you... disappeared in an instant. No way! Paimon was watching you with the...
What's your perspective, Traveler? You sure you don't have any memory of this? I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the city.
So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like something big outside, but this way, we'll also never discover what's outside! Something like a message? But how can we send it back?
Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. You want something that can pass on messages, right? Give me some time and take care of Dunyarzad for me.
Yep, now we're talking.
А почему мы не можем попробовать съебаться в чайник? Это что же подпространство? И в каком подпространстве будет находиться этот чайник? По идее, мы можем это сделать. Должны мочь это сделать. Но я сомневаюсь, что чайник будет участвовать в сюжете, потому что иначе... Иначе он просто сломает все, весь сюжет.
What? Isn't this just an Akasha term?
You made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that it could connect to any node.
To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the back of your hand.
Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use. I just can't guarantee the user's status and signal coverage when they're outside the city.
We'll never know until we try. At least we're taking the initiative now. Let's go then. Let's expose those sages. All right. Paimon isn't as worried about being separated since it happened once yesterday. Okay, see you tomorrow,
До завтра.
That covers everything that's happened so far.
Yes, although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were out.
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Почему все желтеет
Can't
при
go
воспоминании?
back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zeruz festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Надо сломать это подпространство. Если это подпространство, в котором находится множество людей, да, то... Ну и все это перезагружается с каким-то характерным бип, и на заднем фоне слышны непонятные разговоры. Это какая-то явно матрица. И нам нужно перегрузить ее для того, чтобы снять... для того, чтобы выйти из этого постоянного сна. Короче, нам нужно исполнить танец. Нам нужно довести начатое до конца. И тогда все сломается. И мы выйдем из этого непонятного подпространства. Я не знаю, но я думаю так. Это довольно очевидный путь, но тем не менее.
I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights.
Это сны, только это один концентрированный сон какой-то. Ну это матрица.
All these spaces are empty. Except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru city space when you set foot outside of the walls. But everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable.
There's another part here. I only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing, one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared.
Это сны.
Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now. Those spaces are actually...
Что же это? Бзз. Это бзз, ясно. Это бзз.
Why did the message end right there? What did the traveler want to say? What are those spaces?
Это сны. Это bzz.
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha. Did it come from here or...
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said, even the final space is all...
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have...
Безлюдное пространство, реальный мир. Пространство, в котором мы были вчера. Безлюдное пространство.
All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one thing in common. A lack of human presence. Was that space actually the real world? But wouldn't a real space just... My impression is that each day in this samsara only ends at the sound of that beep from the Akasha.
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sабзерuz festival, also disappears. Later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing behind them. Paimon's head is spinning.
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seats. So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple secret.
Wow, the Archon War, huh?
Подпространство нужно перегрузить. Нужно сделать DDoS-атаку на него. Все, Пайман, отныне я путешествую без тебя. Так, это далеко бежать.
Do you want some alone time to think? All right.
Долго же мы размышляли.
The dance of Sабзеруза is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have some other stuff to do first.
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking away. Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait, no. Let's meet up with Nahida first. You can tell us both together.
Нужно закончить танец. Это вызовет перегрузку, потому что это явно не по плану. Ты что такой приунывший? А, стоп, с Нахидой. Я думал, мне сюда. О, как удобно, здесь можно срезать. Чуть-чуть.
You're back! I've been waiting forever for you two. Are you ready to take your Sабzeruz exam and graduate from the festival? Okay. First off.
Так.
People in Sumeru don't dream. Okay, Nahida said we've already experienced all the bizarre spaces I saw outside. The moon, illusions, and lies. Those spaces remind me of dreams, like the one I had in the Avidia Fort. We are all in a dream. It isn't that the people of Sumeru don't dream.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when she was trying to describe them. Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're all in one big dream together right now.
Correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this? The Akasha relies...
That doesn't sound right.
It compiles the wisdom of the...
That doesn't sound right.
It is the manifest.
Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom?
Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're dreaming. In other words, dreams are rich bundles of human wisdom.
So, in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish delusions, and the fact that no one dreams is a blessing from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. So it was all a dirty trick? The real story is that the sages from the Academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their own use, huh?
Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the samsara?
We've already experienced the Sабzeruz festival many times. The beep is a prompt tone for Akasha. The Grand Sage said... Those dreamscapes kept vanishing. But as soon as that beep sounded...
Так, появление и исчезновение снов.
Correct. The Akasha is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness from their own dream. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside the collective dream of the Sabzeruz festival along with everyone else's, while their now vacant dreams are harvested by the Akasha. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream, and so begins another samsara cycle. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sabzeruz festival. The dreams that belong to them are once again harvested by the Akasha.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream harvesting machine.
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything.
Alright, last question. Who am I?
Дендроархонт. Это... Как тебя? А, в этом. Ты... Луна?
They say that alchemical divination is the Dendro Archon.
So you noticed. I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very beginning. It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Yes, those can wait until we're back in real life. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have.
Так, тут много вопросов. Вот у меня больше интересуют последние два.
Can humans really keep dreaming forever like this? Will it ever end? And if so...
Люди не могут вечно спать без хотя бы искусственного поддержания жизни. То есть тело не выдержит, оно умрет. Ну, впрочем, там уже говорилось, что были жертвы. Но вот почему именно на вот этом
You
дне?
might say your mental fatigue has already answered this question. Eventually, especially those whose health is compromised to begin with, like Dunyarzad.
People's lives are at stake here, and nobody knows a thing!
I know, right? Why did they have to base this dream on my birthday? Could it really just be a coincidence?
Сомневаюсь. Хотя, блин, кто их знает, почему именно этот день, непонятно.
Even you don't know the reason? Wow.
The Academia sages are determined to harvest lots of dreams in a short time, no matter the cost. They have to be up to no good. Unfortunately, I don't... Traveler, do you have any information?
Grand Sage said, go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's...
Celebrate the birth of that god? Could it mean...
Они хотят вывести всех почитателей малой Кусанали.
Firstly, this dream we're in is completely based on reality. People have already experienced this. Secondly, you're probably wondering why people don't have any memories from earlier samsara, right? That's because people don't remember their dreams most of the time anyway. And in any case, their actual dreams are being taken away from them by the Akasha. So whenever they wake up in this dream of the Sабzeruz festival, they don't remember anything.
That reminds Paimon. Traveler had a dream when we were in the Avidia forest.
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro element's dream-enhancing power. That explains the feelings of deja vu. Meanwhile, everyone else has no idea that they are in the Sabzeruz Festival Samsara, while their dreams are stolen from them. You asked me this question before. My answer was, now that you know this is all a dream, this answer should hopefully make more... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Likewise, if someone suddenly had told you all this instead of you learning it on your own, your notion of reality and dream would be thrown into irreversible confusion. I couldn't expose you to that kind of risk. That's why I could only give you very subtle hints and some suggestions. Long story short, I'm really sorry I had to keep you guessing.
Тут проблема не в том, что ты заставил нас гадать, а в том, что уже довольно много жертв было. И наша подруга тоже могла стать одной из них, если не стала еще. Все, нет вопросов.
People of Sumeru with no regard for their safety. No matter what they're trying to do, this is unforgivable.
Согласен, Академия охуела.
After we end the Sabzeruz Festival Samsara, we have to look into them.
How can the sages of the Academia do this behind their Archon's back? This is ridiculous!
In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun.
A sun and a moon? Nahida's talking in riddles. Oh, we're out of time today.
I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow. See you then.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kus... Hey! What's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
Походу, Dunyarzada уже все.
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Вот почему нужно было либо давать больше подсказок, либо что. Потому что это херня с тем, что мы так долго разгадывали. Слишком много циклов прошло, и как бы жертв уже слишком много. И наша подруга, которая и без того слабая была, уже тоже все.
Paimon can't believe it. Wait, so what about that other other Dunyarzad?
She's actually something like a puppet, but not the real Dunyarzad's consciousness could no longer keep playing her role in this dream. So another Dunyarzad appeared to replace her in the dream. Just like the grass and the trees, that Dunyarzad is just a building block of...
But personality-wise, she's not...
Puppets are stiff, and can't copy a living person's vitality. You know, speaking of which...
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness, and it was you who inspired her.
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still... far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sабzeruz festival with
Please don't beat yourself up over it, Nahida. It's the sage's fault, and theirs alone.
I'm not beating myself up.
Don't be like that, Nahida. Even real Archons are still allowed to be sad.
To prevent more tragedies like this, we must end the samsara as soon as possible.
Great, but...
Although the Sabzeruz festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we find that person?
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination...
Imagination? What do you mean by that?
Imagination means breaking through what you perceive as normal. Like when a server at a tavern brings a plate to you, you'd naturally assume that food is on it. However, if you're the dream's host and you become aware that you're dreaming, when you imagine gold and mora, the dream will respond in kind, and the server really will bring you gold and mora. But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always be food. Find some way to make that person realize that they're dreaming. Usually, once that happens, the person will wake up and the dream samsara will be broken.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could be anyone, it'd be like looking for a needle in a haystack. And even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't wake a sleepwalker.
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding the host. As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the Traveler went?
Yes. I want to try something. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara need to end.
Paimon's still a little upset that we've come this far only for Dunyarzad to... She was such a good person, with such a simple wish. But fate was against her. Yeah, saving Dunyarzad is what kept us going this whole time.
Проблема в том, что загадка слишком долго решалась, слишком мало давалось ответов и подсказок к тому, что это могло бы быть. И не предпринимались, и мало предпринимались какие-то попытки решить эту проблему. Мы только 40 попыток доходили сюда, а потом только начали что-то с этим делать. Это как бы неправильно.
But we mustn't lose hope, Traveler. Dunyarzad would definitely want to see us save everyone. Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this stream? Huh. That's true. Plus, the sages probably weren't counting on there being other factors, so... Who do you think the host of the dream is?
Почему он?
Oh, that would make sense. Ferris, the Knight of Flowers, is a symbol of the whole Sабзерuz festival, right? Pretty core character. Let's go ask him some questions.
Я не думаю, что это он. Типа, иначе он бы проснулся уже на моменте того, когда мы разгадали все его эти закуски спрятанные. Он бы еще тогда понял, что что-то какая-то фигня, и все, и разгадал бы. Тут дело в самой танцовщице, я думаю. Потому что я придерживаюсь мысли, что нужно исполнить танец.
You're back. You left in a hurry last time.
Everything's fine, just, it's a little hard to...
An experiment? That came out of nowhere. I'm listening, though.
Could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sабзерuz festival tradition or something?
Less questions, more wishing!
Okay. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone.
Она мертва.
She just doesn't seem like herself. She's always so gentle and kind, and all the kids love her.
Она мертва.
I've also wondered if the reason she asked me to be Ferris Knight of Flowers is because I'm special to her, or...
So, you have a crush on Dunyarzad?
Oh, is it that obvious? When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want... What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just wanted to be her Knight of Flowers for the rest of my life. 50 years? 100 years? I'll serve her till the end of time.
Она мертва.
Okay, yeah, that was a bit much. Felt like the right moment to get it off my chest, but... Okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
Нет, она мертва.
I'm gonna open my eyes. Oh! You're...
What?
Fucky? Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda candies per person. Back home you go. Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind. I don't need to see her appear right in front of me.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy.
Я тебе говорю, это танцовщица.
It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her.
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. This is when Dunyarzad bumps... Huh? But Dia can handle them. Hey, Traveler!
Почему они не берут в расчет танцовщицу?
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... fine, alright. Knock yourself out. Why are you so Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself some backup. Gather!
Propagate! Whirling snow!
I'll be back.
Так, вас должно быть больше. I'll be back.
My apologies.
Take my leave.
Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of, remember how during the first Sabzeruz festival, before the Samsara started, we came? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying somewhere around here. She pointed it out to us the night. Yeah, even if it's only a tiny clue, it'll probably still. This is the place! It's rude to enter other people's spaces. Hey! The windows are unlocked! Okay. Paimon's gonna take a peek inside.
Теперь мы шастаем по чужим домам. Все, домушники.
This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty much nothing inside. Should we open it?
Что-то подзависло все.
Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like she was always, even though she was also busy preparing for this, she must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the... If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we can't even thank her. Hey! Where are you off to now?
Кстати, это вообще в первый раз в этой игре кто-то по-настоящему умирает? А, нет, второй раз. Первый раз это был, по-моему, этот, наш подчиненный из отряда Рыба-Меч 2. Или какой у нас там отряд? Ну и, по-моему, все. Я помню только этих двоих. Так.
It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really, really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago.
Почему воспоминания таким желтым оранжевым фильтром окрашиваются?
Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilu's Dance of Sabzeruz.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
Нужно закончить танец. И серию. И серию тоже уже пора заканчивать. Нужно закончить танец и закончить серию. В этом смысл. Неужели я дам по шапке этому усатому старпёру?
If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation. The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency.
Усата бородатому.
I advise that you...
Представление состоится. Я сказал.
Traveler? You don't have to get involved.
Мне похуй. Мне похуй, кто это, я его пиздюлет вешаю.
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the Academia, that's another day gone to waste.
Там мне похуй. Типа, это уже не первый день. Подумаешь, еще день потеряем. Уже поздно. Подруга мертва. Так что... Я могу делать, что хочу. В этом-то и смысл. В этом-то весь смысл. Надо делать вообще все возможное. Здрасте, да.
They're not reacting. Have they been scared stiff? Oh, of course. If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitutes.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his
Танцуй!
entourage?
А, таких цветов не существует. Да.
Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Patisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful shade of purple.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Patisaras? Just like the ones from the legend?
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Танцуй!
Huh? You guys are acting weird. Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host. Well, purple Patisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on the stage.
Я прочитал не пурпурный падисар, а слово на букву П.
It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assumed there will be food on a plate, and Nilu assumed there would be real Patisaras in the flower pots. So when you saw the flowers, you instantly knew it was Nilu? But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become aware that they're dreaming. How should we make Nilu realize that?
А мы еще не убедили? Танцуй!
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
Блять, Пайман, ты чё, забыла, что она рядом с нами стоит, что ли? Все это время.
So I'm right. Is this...
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this is a dream?
Может потому, что мы тут сейчас стоим и это обсуждаем, нет?
As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendro-Archon.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City. So it was about the first sage, huh?
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to the story. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro-Archon, and she finally gave her blessing to him. All kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro-Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too long." The Dendro-Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro-Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City,
and founded the academia.
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story?
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection. But we really gotta wake up soon, like the sage in the story!
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sabzeruz festival is almost over too.
Танцуй!
Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sabzeruz as beautiful as we can. The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sabzeruz.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest. Paimon's head feels super heavy. Did we oversleep? Do you even remember going to sleep last night? Paimon thinks it was the Sabzeruz festival. Have we finally escaped from the Sabzeruz samsara? Quick, take off your Akasha terminal. She's not in her room. What happened?
Ну ее как бы нет. Мы уже видели призрак.
Huh? What is...
В смысле живая? Так, Катерина, здесь что-то делать...
Traveler and Paimon.
Нет, стоп, это не Катерина. Это... Катерина со знаком вопроса, это Архонт.
And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing the Sабzeruz festival for me.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad!
Почему она живая?
You're okay! Oh, don't scare us like that!
Ладно, рано ее похоронили. Значит, у нас пока только наш боевой сотоварищ из Рыба Меча 2 погиб, получается. Ну и сеньора. Ну на сеньору похуй. Она нам не товарищ.
Oh, a traveler, Paimon. I have something amazing to tell you. I just had a dream. and I saw Nilu performing the dance of Sабзеруза.
Почему ты живая? Так, поговорить с Катериной, это, конечно, хорошо. Вопрос в другом. Нет, это еще не конец, по идее. Либо сейчас конец. Но просто если это сейчас на этом все закончится, это ждать аж следующего обновления, чтобы узнать, что было дальше. Просто, ну, типа, все проснулись, это хорошо, но с ситуацией-то самой мы не разобрались. Нужно искать этих зачинщиков и давать им пиздюлей.
You're actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sабзерuz festival.
Да, согласен. Катерина не покидает свой пост. Ты просто создала себе клона Катерины. Катерина вообще, я не знаю, чи робот, чи кто она, что она, что она такое. Она одна на все регионы. Ладно, с этим мы разберемся, я думаю, когда дойдем до Снежной. Там что-то прояснится, но тем не менее.
And Dunyarzad, did you save her?
It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened.
А я уже думал Хутао звать.
Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the traveler's favorite bench?
Ой, да, я там уже всю жопу на той скамейке сидел. За столько-то прошедших.
What's going on? Why are you two so excited to see me? Hasn't it only been a night?
Да так, что-то ночь затянулась.
It's actually been much longer than that.
Oh? Strange. Was I really asleep that long?
Ладно, с этой пока поговорить не получится.
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right.
After we parted on the last day of the Sabzeruz festival, I left the city and saw what the traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original dream, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible, but it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the samsara.
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end. And not a moment too soon.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotions.
Если бы она померла, вот тогда и надо было бы плакать. А сейчас-то что?
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer. As your reward, I will answer any and all questions.
Окей, давай по порядку.
At the Avidia forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious.
You also heard someone's voice, right? It said world. And
yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you what that was about. And if...
It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so your suspicions are reasonable.
A message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was from the Scarlet King.
The Scarlet King? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracies.
Okay, so what does the message mean?
I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the Academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to decipher it.
So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick. Is it because of the contaminated consciousness?
Кстати говоря, мне интересно, что означает сожженное дерево из трейлеров Сумеру. Там снился сон, как горит древо этой... Я уже забыл. Зеленоволосой нашей подруги новой.
But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about,
the traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This puzzle has life and death at stake. It could determine Irminsul's fate, as well as Tevat's. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness.
Не надо так делать.
How did you do that? Poor Catherine.
Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet.
Бионическую куклу из Снежной. То есть все-таки это кукла. Ну, в принципе, об этом уже давно говорят. Но тем не менее.
Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No, what about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of Surasthana?
That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self, and at that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Surasthana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But, however, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing.
So, the sages basically put their new Archon under house arrest? How dare they! Why don't you teach them a lesson, Nahida?
In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation. And I'm still really far away from being able to call myself the God of Wisdom. Moreover, the Academia is also more proficient at governing this country.
Но тут
My existence has little meaning.
суть в том, что архонты могут перерождаться. То есть, когда умирает старый архонт, рождается новый. Вопрос, в каких случаях это работает, а в каких нет.
Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at the Sабzeruz festival.
Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha.
Не бойся, когда-нибудь будет твой баннер, и мы тебя освободим.
Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. I will work on that, and try to live up to being a deity in the meantime. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Doing all that should be enough. There's never been any big problems with the Academia's governance of Sumeru. This is the first time I've seen them step out of line. I wonder what caused them to go down this path. Even though the city's residents haven't noticed anything strange, if the traveler hadn't broken the Sабzeruz samsara, the situation could have become dire.
Так мы уже слышали про жертв. Не знаю, сколько их там было, но жертвы были. Ты спасла одну. Что с остальными?
I tried to do some investigating in the Akasha, but I couldn't find anything suspicious. And all the people of interest seem to purposely avoid wearing
Вот
their Akasha
говнюки.
terminals.
Мне кажется, в этом замешаны фатуи. По-любому. Ну, типа, в любом говне всегда замешаны фатуи. Это неизбежно.
I think they're deliberately trying to hide something.
Oh, that reminds Paimon. In Gandharvaville, there was a sage who had invited Kainari to join some kind of...
Regardless, I need to first investigate the sage's motives, make things right, and punish them if needed. But I'll have to be discreet, or they'll see me coming.
Короче, нынешний Архонт будет заниматься расследованием. А потом только мы сможем продолжить эту ветвь сюжета. И, кстати, у нас получается две ветки сюжета. Один сюжет с похищенным камнем знаний Архонта, а второй сюжет с самой Академией Акаши. Кстати говоря, в трейлерах этот маяк, по-моему, в порту или что, он просто исчезал, испарился был. По-моему, такое что-то было, нет? Но откуда-то я что-то помню, значит было. Значит, скорее всего, это будет не сейчас, потому что 2 главы мы прошли. У нас остался, по сути, только непройденные задания легенд нашего ушастого товарища Тигнари. Но я сомневаюсь, что там будет это исчезновение маяка. Короче, непонятно пока.
You mean how the Akasha stops you from having dreams?
Yeah, it's been such a long time.
It's not that no one noticed. It's more like no one cared.
Misdirection?
The sages convinced everyone to believe that being unable to dream is a sign of rationality and wisdom. Even if the truth is that their dreams are being reaped by the Akasha. With their propaganda in place, the sages can maximize their use of the Akasha to besides. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata must have created the Akasha in the hopes that it could be used to its full potential. That's why I've never come out strongly against... Anyway, the perspective advocated by the sages drowned out any voices of doubt. By now, even those who never use Akasha terminals find it too shameful and embarrassing to talk about their dreams.
Все, в принципе, вопросов нет.
I hope my answers were satisfactory, seekers of knowledge. To be honest, maintaining Dunyarzad's fading dream took a lot of mental energy. Oh, and you don't need to worry too much about the sage's activities for now. The Akasha won't be able to conduct another project on the scale of the Sabzeruz samsara.
Go and get some sleep. Leave everything to us.
What a relief. This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either of you know?
Maybe you were sleepwalking. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We happened to walk by, so we thought we'd wait for you to wake up.
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime. Oh, I'm fine. I better go.
Все, получается, набор в бригаду 30. Новое задание. Новое задание, но это... Встреча в лесу это другое. Игрушка другое. Набор в бригаду 30. Побочное задание. С этим всем мы разобрались. Здесь у нас по-прежнему недоступны дейлики почему-то. К сожалению. Ну и я так понял, никаких как это называется, я забыл. Вот этих дел еженедельных у нас тоже не будет. Нет, вот есть. Я сомневаюсь, что они сейчас будут активны. Мы пока что еще ничего значимого здесь не сделали. Поэтому вряд ли с нами кто-то будет по этому поводу говорить. А, может это и есть вот этот набор в ряды 30 или как там? Да, не, поручения стали доступны, окей. С этим разобрались. Какой-то рецепт. Цыпленок в масле, окей, хорошо, допустим. Что у нас тут интересного? Это что? Компас. Вещь полезная, камень. Эхо, вещь полезная. Без понятия, что это. Благословение древа. Ладно, с этим всем мы будем разбираться по ходу дела. Хотя бы это у нас уже стал... Ага, просьбы жителей. Ну, в принципе, ладно, это станет доступно, наверное, скоро. Думаю, скоро станет доступно. Уровень репутации 2 тут добьем. Я не особо это все читал. Так, окей, задание выполнено. Меня напрягает, почему до сих пор недоступны делики здесь. Ну да ладно, с этим мы разберемся, думаю. А сейчас вот путешественница, созвездие, восстановление энергии. Окей, пусть будет. Так, ну и все. Дальше остается ждать, пока там этот архонт что-то доисследует. Да, разберется кто, что, зачем и почему. А дальше мы продолжим сюжет. То есть у нас сейчас две ветки сюжета. Разобраться со знаниями архонта, который спиздил тот чувак. И разобраться с академией. Они будут пересекаться, скорее всего. В общем, не знаю, что будет дальше. Посмотрим. Ну а пока на этом все. Было вполне интересно. Да, было весьма-таки интересно. Весьма интересное задание. Но теперь остается ждать продолжения, потому что эти две сюжетные ветви еще далеко не окончены. И чем они закончатся, пока не ясно. Ну, хотя можно предположить чем, но об этом потом. Все. На этом я с вами прощаюсь. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь, ставьте лайки, комментируйте. И всем удачи, всем пока. Дальше будем проходить основное событие. Детская сказка. Ну и, соответственно, ждать продолжения сюжета. Ну, может быть, еще зацепим задание легенд Стигнари. Хотя тут еще прошлое бы надо пройти. Ой, не знаю, когда и как этим буду заниматься. Ладно. Все. Всем удачи, всем пока. До новых встреч.